What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing. Where do you come from? Where are you going? What are you feeling tonight? And what are you showing? Where do you come from? 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 Where are you going? What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing.
And we are live. All the shit talk can stop, and now the shit talk can continue live. So we are here with the download, talking everything gaming and technology. Yes, we got Twitch bans Boobies, as well as the end of the world is happening in 2050, plus so much more. We got a brand new Xbox image that leaked, as well as maybe something a little bit ominous later on. So let's get into it. Without further ado, let's get into the panel. We got Callie Drew Bot. What's been going on? What have you been gaming on this week? I heard it's snowing where you're at, so tell us all about it.
Yeah, Snow Day. South Park Snow Day. I've been playing that game. That game's actually really fun. For $20 and I've been playing some Dragon's Dogma as well.
Awesome. Wilson DW, what have you been up to? What have you been gaming on?
Oh, not much, mate, not much. I've been having a bit of a personal week, just taking a bit of a step away from gaming more than anything. I've played a little bit of Avatar here and there, and I have also tried out that Snow Day, but I'm looking to get into some of it with you fellas still. I'm looking forward to getting some multiplayer at some point this weekend.
Awesome. And Pwn Tech Support, what's been going on? What have you been gaming on this week?
Oh man, I picked up Snow Day like Callie did for next to nothing. It's a fun little game. I've been playing a little bit of Battlefield. That was nice to get back into and do some shooty bang bang. And of course, I'm always still playing BG3, so that's about it.
Sweet. And how about the Cyborg? What are you
man,
into the brain?
I actually have Snow Day on the PS5 and the Xbox. Enjoying the game. It's pretty good. Marble Snap and some BG3. And I got to sit on the throne at the end and be the most powerful being on the team.
Okay, we have to do a little correction.
Whoa.
Rudig sat on the throne, and we were his subjects that were.
Excuse me, no. Go back, look, guys. It's actually the little black gnome. But go ahead.
Interesting.
Go ahead.
Yeah, some revisionist history there. All right, I got you there, Ray. What's been going on with you, Vet?
Not much. I also picked up South Park for the Series X. But I've been playing What have I been playing? Not much this week. I haven't really done. I've just kind of been doing social media stuff instead. I had family that came out from Minnesota right before a snowstorm hit out there. But I am going to be testing out or checking out this new racing royale game that's on the part of the Xbox Insider program. It's some kind of 60-player online kart racer game. So I'm going to check that out.
Awesome. And in the chat, we got Mr. Sanchez, MTZ Gaming, which I figured out the key. MTZ is actually a assault rifle in Call of Duty, and it is an OP gun, and that's where he gets his name from. I solved the riddle that is Sanchez. Nerds World, what's going on? Thanks for coming on by. And we got the panelists in the chat supporting us as well, Vet Cloud Gaming and Ray the Gaming Cyborg. So, without further delay, let's get into the bodacious news story that's been hitting a lot of everyone's favorite game streaming platform, and that is Twitch. They are targeting the twerkers. That's right, Twitch targets butt streams with the new rule banning content that focuses on intimate body parts for prolonged periods of time. Now, if you're familiar with Twitch, you will have seen a certain section on Twitch. I believe, Ray, what's it called?
Honestly,
Ah.
have no idea.
That was good. That was good. The professional
Yeah.
panel here.
Have no idea.
Wow.
Idea.
I'm usually I'm on the Bible apps, reading Bible verses and having a virtue life. Having a virtue life.
I'm sorry. What verse are you on? Just want to check.
No. Seriously. Okay, all right. Okay, guys. Look, I'm old. I'm a lonely man. Sometimes my wife works a lot, so sometimes I like to, swallow the kicks and go to Twitch and look at big giant boobies and ass jiggling. There you go. There, I said it.
I don't think he
And,
says he's old. This sounds more like he's just an old. Well, he is old, but also maybe more
Seriously?
like. Should we take out the lonely and just put
Seriously,
dirty?
Seriously though,
Oh
they
my
had
gosh.
to do
This
this.
steals my
They
idea
had to
where
do-
I was gonna paint my gut green, and then I was just gonna have
Yeah.
the game on my gut.
They had to
well,
do-
that-
kids
is
are
the
getting,
gut
kids are
intimate?
getting access. Kids
Well,
are getting
he-
access to
So
this.
you could say so.
Yes,
say
that's
so.
the
I mean,
main
some
thing.
people
So-
find-
So
some people
here,
find Thor still attractive. So
here's
you know.
here's the reality is they're being forced to. So is Kick and Twitch are both having this issue, and it is due to the fact that their apps are you have an app on Google Play Store, you have one on the Apple App Store, and Apple and Google both said get rid of it, or we're kicking your app out of the store. So that's the gist of how you can sum it up that way.
Now, Maker of Chaos, we discussed this a little while ago, and he was saying he believes it's due to marketing, the commercials and stuff that play, that they don't want to be associated with it. But I'm unsure of that. I wonder if it's just because there's a hell of a lot of young people on the platform. And it's easy. It's so easy to click on the content. It actually
Hey,
gets
Dorgan.
served up to you. Like,
Well, yeah, but
Yes.
that's the thing is like you have. How are you? There's no control. The only one that can really control that app being downloaded is Google and Apple. And I understand the requirements. I get that. So if they say, "Hey, remove this,"
but let's
content,
specify what they were actually doing. What Callie said about his stomach, they were doing that across their bottoms. You couldn't see flesh, but you could definitely see the outline of their butt that they were streaming onto. And also, there'd be the painters that would paint their bodies, and there would also be the people that would grease up and do jumping jacks. It was kind of vile. Like all that, I think, in my opinion, all that should be in OnlyFans. All of it should.
Let me tell you something.
Right.
I seen one
You
time.
put that.
The song.
Yeah, Ray,
Hold
go
on.
for it.
The song. I had to look. Me and my wife, we one time accidentally. I said, "Babe, you got to come over here. You got to see this." This poor girl. Her string was so thin between the cheeks that you could see something that you shouldn't be able to see, and other people shouldn't be able to see. Like I said, it should be on OnlyFans. It should be on Pornhub. Some parents don't know how to put the children's there's older people that don't know how, like me. I have stuff so my son Evan can't go to certain sites and block. Some parents don't know how to do that, and kids. I mean, you got a girl and she's playing Among Us. You got a guy, he's playing something. You got to do something, dude.
The thing is,
kids to the point like it's getting to the point like they're almost nude. So you got.
This is the thing. Kids are smart. They know how to get around stuff when they want to get there. I understand, that people are going to be upset with these new rules, but let's be real. What does that have to? They're not streaming that stuff to promote video games. They just want money because
what they're doing is they're capturing that audience.
Exactly.
They're capturing an audience that really shouldn't be exposed to it at that age, and you really got to set up some sort of age verification or some sort of barrier. I mean, just on Twitch's part, you can't be cross-mutating your audiences like that, because you're just going to get young people watching this, and then it's going to twist the minds. But Callie, did you have something to say on this subject?
No.
No.
Well, no. I have one more.
Other than painting yourself green and streaming some Lethal Company on the stomach.
It makes me sad to think that kids are tuning into that. Makes me angry. But when I normally see something in the feed as you're scrolling to find somebody, it makes me sad. There's so many lonely, sad individuals that will tune into that to get their rocks up. I don't understand. I just don't.
Right, can I offer a different
you guys are all hitting
hold on.
Yeah, let's get Wilson, and then we'll get Ray, and then wait, Phoenix. We gotta highlight Phoenix's comment. I'm just walking the dogs, but I'm glad Ray will have to cover his butt crack now. Now, Wilson,
she wasn't looking at my butt crack. She was looking at my frontal. But go ahead.
Oh my!
You got a front butt? What are you talking about?
She was looking at the front. She wasn't worrying about the back. But go ahead.
She was looking at the front hole.
Ray has TPS.
Oh.
I didn't know about Ray's alternate channel.
All right, Wilson, what did you want to say on the subject?
I don't know if I specifically agree with it, and I also think that everything we're saying in terms of regulations and preventing kids from seeing these things are very important. But at the same time, when you say something like what SPG said, you see these streams and you know that there's a bunch of people watching them, and it's just kind of sad. I mean, it is, but at the same time, this world doesn't have a lot of jobs going at the minute, and there's not a lot of places where people are valued. And if a girl can get value out of her body, and do it in a legal way, then
Pornhub.
But what's wrong with doing it on Twitch if there's the right regulations in place that prevents a kid from seeing it? Don't get me wrong, I get it. We don't want kids to see these things.
Because the thumbnails in the games. I have watched a girl play Among Us. I've watched a girl play Party Animals. Wait a minute. I mean, I had a friend that watched. And told me about.
We're giving out the dirty details now.
Ray left his browser open again. Damn it.
I mean, dude, they're playing games that are towards children.
I know. I mean, I'm looking at an article here where Mogpie. I mean, we've all heard that name, Mogpie. She did a stream where.
Yeah, I follow her.
Well, yeah, that's what's on screen. That's on the screen now.
Fortnite onto her ass.
Okay, so here's the thing though. You also have to look at it like this. It's hard. I get where Wilson's coming from as well, because it's hard to, if you don't have kids, you don't think of it that way. If you're a parent, is this really what you want your kids watching?
Let's go back to what Ray said. A lot of parents know how to block illicit websites from their children's eyes, but who is going to go in and block Twitch?
Yeah. Nobody, because most kids play
open
games.
Playground. And they're transitioning the audiences, and that's why these people are on here. They're to take advantage because they know the audiences is already rich with video game streaming kids, so they can easily pull that into their own brand.
So kids is a huge industry. Look at Jake Paul and Logan Paul and Cred and all that. It's all for kids.
Cred.
There is
South Park, bro. You mean that Prime
SPG,
shit?
There is a girl.
Sorry, not Cred. Yeah. Hold on.
Rude. There is a girl.
Right.
There is a girl that when you pay her a certain amount of money, she has like this squirt gun where she gets on her knees and opens her tongue and face like you're giving her. You can pay to give her a golden shower. Is that what the hell you want your kids? Hey, Dad, Mom, what's a golden shower?
No,
You know,
Ray,
I
I
mean,
want
come
them to
on.
grow up and buy a fart in
Come
a
on,
jar.
dude.
That's what I want them
Come
to
on,
do.
seriously? And so the
And
girl
it's
gets
not-
down on her knees.
Yeah.
Come on, seriously?
It's not just
Like, come
the
on.
males watching it, the little kids, the little girls are also watching it, and perhaps they're like, okay, this is how you make money. This is how you get followers. It's just not a good precedence to send forward, and we just need better ways of monetizing people's behaviors. And if people want to pay for stuff like this, they need their own avenue, and they've created avenues like that, and that's the OnlyFans of the internet, and that's behind rules and regulations for a reason.
Well, listen, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with it. I was just trying to play devil's advocate. But like I said, I mean, there are people. I mean, Ray admitted at the very beginning of this conversation, he's one of these watchers. All right, like.
Wait a
There are
minute.
people-
Okay,
Whoa,
okay.
whoa.
Listen. Let me give you a hot take. Why don't they just legalize prostitution and then all of these viewers would disappear?
Well, hold
Yeah.
on. Maker makes a good point there in the chat. That he said, I think they should have an adult Twitch.
See, this is what I was saying. Like, maybe right, who says Twitch isn't the right place
They
for it?
have
But maybe there just
it's
needs to be
called
better regulation.
OnlyFans.
Well,
know, but-
Windstar says they're going to
OnlyFans.
reclassify it as beauty and art, but again, it's a hard line to walk between, what is free speech. If these people are doing green screens on their body, that's what people do. They operate as closely as the line as possible to make as much money as they can. And that's where you make the most money, is operating as close to that line
Pushing the boat,
of
being
legal
edgy.
or
Yes.
not legal. Exactly.
Now, if Twitch comes out, obviously they came out with a new rule. Kick came out with a new rule. Now, what you're going to see is these people that do these kind of streams are going to adapt and find a way to get as close to getting around that rule as they possibly can. It's not going to change. They're going to have to it's going to be a constant battle that, like it always has been from the get-go. That this band is going to do one thing, people are going to change the way they do it, and they're still going to do the exact same thing. How many other times have we already seen in the last year with these kind of streamers that are on Twitch doing the exact same thing? Twitch
And
says,
it's-
well, we're going to
it's
change
worth
the rule.
noting, it isn't just Twitch that has these videos that shouldn't.
No,
I mean, YouTube has
no.
these risky videos
YouTube
that shouldn't.
YouTube
TikTok
has it?
has got real life porn on it where it shouldn't, and kids that sit and watch TikTok all day long.
TikTok, Twitter.
Oh, yeah,
internet-
Sanchez
Hey,
brings
hey.
that up.
Let's ask the expert. Ray, how's YouTube?
Ray, how is
Uh,
Instagram? Instagram working for you these days too, I hear.
There's always back doors to find certain stuff, dude.
Wrong
And I'll
choice of
leave it
words,
at
but
That was an awful choice of words. It was.
All right.
I just said that too.
I mean,
All
just
right.
look at Magpies. It's right there.
Close one of your browsers. See, you're distracted.
It gives new meaning to Crowned Victory Royale. I'll tell you that when it's on someone's eyes.
Oh, goodness.
I hope it's not a crown. If there's a crown, we got bigger
But this
problems.
isn't their first step towards this, right? They've been doing it since, what was it, December last year? This is their second or third regulation. Their second or
Exactly.
third like line
This
in
is
the
the
sand
third one.
saying we want to make it a more welcoming place.
But how
So,
do you do? How does a
Actually, I
platform
see
like
this
Twitch-
chat here. Sanchez says Twitter also has porn. So you know what?
Right.
It may be
Can we talk about that?
unstoppable at some point, because as soon as Sora and AI start to drop, I mean, I feel like at that point it's going to be so hard to stop. People are going to be
Oh,
creating this
It
stuff left, right, and
certainly
center.
is. All your
Sora
famous
and AI.
actors, like
If you wanna
everything's
bring
going to
up-
be AI generated.
if you
won't
want
be
to
able
bring
to
up
tell.
Sora and
it's
AI,
real or
Yeah.
Twitch
not.
have already done a rule against that. They already, where was it? December, the site revoked a policy change that permitted artistic depictions of nudity after users posted deepfake porn images. So they've already revoked things such as AI and Sora porn on Twitch. That's already a step that they're taking towards that. But as you say, how can you prevent it in this world of free speech in the wild west of the internet? Twitter and Tumblr were always known as the places where you can post anything, and they lost that for a few years through cancel culture, through the trend of cancel culture. But since Elon's bought Twitter back, freedom of speech has became a thing again on there. And I don't know when Tumblr did again, but Tumblr's very much more accepting of all these porn and lewd content and even offensive content as well. So as you say, how do you control it? It's hard.
You
net to
can't.
fly.
Totally see it's going to be like Cyberpunk in the future, in the
You
next few
can't-
years, where it's just going to be everywhere. You're going to see ass, tits, and all these ads and stuff all over the place, and it's just not going to matter.
Well, that's the
And
thing.
we're all
is you
going to have
can't-
Neurolinks that are updated by Elon Musk, and the truth will be shrouded from our very eyes because updates will cover certain things.
Well,
So I
and-
hope we
but
don't turn
this
into
is-
a world like that.
This is the reality, though. It doesn't matter where you live, where you are. There's always going to be the stuff is going to be here. There's no easy route to censor this stuff unless you cross that line, the censorship line, and you start cracking down and censoring the internet, which they can't do.
Now,
I mean, they can try, but I don't know. If
I'm
it's
at a
going to happen.
loss. I'm at a loss because I don't know where I'm going to be able to go on the internet to find a shirtless man with one pasty and one tassel telling me relationship advice. I don't know where I'm going to go for that content.
I've got that set up right. SPG. I've got I'm creating a new cloud gaming network for that one.
I'll
I
let you know
think
my email
the-
list. How about that, SPG?
Wow. Okay. Broaden my horizons, sir.
I'm gonna
Wilson and
say
I are
the
Wilson and I are
closing words
collabing
on
on
this, and then we'll move on. I really think there's no real way to censor all of this, especially moving forward. I think SPG made a big point in the conversation. Just legalize it, change society's views on like nudity and body parts and sexual relations, and evolve in this new era, and maybe we'll be all right. I think that's the best way to do it. Don't crack down, evolve. Well, let's move on to all new discless Xbox Series X. That's right, we're moving from booties to the Xbox. Not too far off, but we're moving down
This
south.
one doesn't have a slot, right? That's the
No
difference.
slot. Yeah, imagine an Xbox without a slot. There'd be no reason to call them. I digress. Let's go into what's happening here. There's leaked images. All new Series X is showing no slots. It is digital only. Do you think this is the future? We saw movements on big retailers already getting rid of all of their hard copies. Do you think it's the end of discs?
I hate to stomp hooves that I don't have, but this doesn't have any upgraded specs, does it?
I think it only has heatsink, and that's it.
It's not really an upgrade. It's
Right.
literally just the Series X diskless version. So it's like you have the PS5 and you have with the disc drive, you had the PS5 without the disc drive. It's the same thing. It's just they're a little late to releasing the diskless version. I'm not a fan. Like I wouldn't get it because I have a Series X with a disc drive, but I also know that you're going to have as games get bigger, you're just going to constantly be buying upgraded things. That's the one downside to digital games is storage space.
So we have a launch window of June, July this year. Do you think this will be purely digital, or is this the mid-console refresh?
No, I think it's just a digital one.
Yeah, I think it's
Digital.
got to be the digital one. But how is that gonna fare?
Well,
If it releases around the time the PS5 Pro goes, hey guys, upgraded specs, come,
yeah,
Yeah,
but
ours has
Well,
ray
Maker's got
tracing
some
on
interesting
everything.
Points.
But here's the thing. Maker said that if it's a cheaper Series X, then he thinks it's good. But it's also rumored to have 2 terabytes of storage, which that's also good. That
No,
would
that
make
is good.
it, and that would make sense to upgrade the internal storage, but you still have the option to get that external storage card thing or whatever it is to plug in the back for even more. So that makes sense. Like I don't see them upgrading everything hardware-wise. Do I see it's going to be an issue with the PS5 Pro? No, I don't think so. How many people are really going to upgrade to the PS5 Pro?
Sony wouldn't release it. Sony wouldn't release it if they didn't think a lot of people would adopt it.
No,
It'll
I
sell
understand
out.
that. It'll
I
sell
mean, the
out.
same applies to this, okay? Like, they wouldn't release it if they didn't think there's going to be buyers,
No,
right?
no,
And
no,
there's going to
no.
be plenty of people with a Series S who are a little bit slow who are a little bit frustrated with their power, who have noticed the past 2024 games and the 2023 games
you.
struggling a little bit,
No.
and they want an
Yeah.
up in
you.
not just
100%.
power, but their storage too. So this
Okay,
might be a
so
really
does
good
this-
option for them.
Is this digital one the
Considering
same
they're used to not
price as
having
the
this.
S? Is
We're
the same price
seeing
as the S?
Yeah, I don't think.
$479
No,
Harry Potter dollars. I don't know what that translates to.
You know what? If
Correct.
you can trade, if
To
you can trade in
USD.
your S, if you can trade in your S, and you're gonna get what, a 2 terabyte storage, fuck yeah, I'll trade in my S. I mean, I have an Xbox Series X and I have an Xbox Series S, but you know what? I would trade the S in to get the this digital. I'm interested. And as far as the PlayStation
Well,
5, I have a digital. I would love to upgrade my digital to, yeah, I think I might just fucking upgrade both. Hell, the S and my old PS5 digital. So yeah, I'll do it.
Here we go. The rumor. So this is the thing. This is what else I got off of the information. The storage capacity will be 2 terabytes. That's like what Maker said. They're also saying that it'll have upgraded wireless and Bluetooth. The new one will also be more power efficient, and it will have a new USB-C port to the front of the console. So,
What?
like my
Maybe
Series
it
X
is
has
the
a USB.
mid-console refresh.
My Series X has a USB-A port. Looks like they're replacing it with a USB-C, anticipating a November release date, is what I'm hearing.
Well, here it says June, July, but they may coordinate with the PS Pro at the same time. Let's not forget that the Xbox, when it did launch, especially the Series X, was, and it still is, a very powerful machine. Some say that it even outranks the PS5 in terms of performance, bolstering more 120 FPS games as well. So it is a powerful box to begin with.
So here's that June, July.
Look, hey, wait, Vet.
I'm speechless.
Everybody take
I'm
a
speechless.
everybody
that
take
was
a
so
goddamn
Don't know
pause.
how to-
That was so tempered. Holy shit!
Yeah,
Congrats.
seriously? Wow. Congratulations. Like, I'm so proud.
The horse behind you is kicking you, but that's okay.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, no, it's a great device. I love my Series X, and if this is a mid-series update or whatever it's called, not a next-gen console. Do you know what's weird? We always used to just get a new console. Now we don't get next-gen consoles. Now we get a mid-next-gen console, which is a little daft to me. But if this is the upgrade, then I'm sure it'll have a decent little bit of power behind it. I'm sure it'll keep up somewhat for the price that consoles can keep up with. But they're consoles. Like let's get into that part of the discussion. At the £500 mark or £600 mark, it's never going to compete properly with this 2,000, 3,000 PCs, and they're going to struggle to keep up with these Unreal Engine 5 games in the next coming years. We've talked about this several times, haven't we?
Yeah, hear me now and believe me later. The PS6 and the next Xbox is closer than you think.
All right, well, let's pop on to the next topic then, which I know SPG and Callie have something to say on, and that is Grand Theft Auto 6 is on schedule, and it claims that the rumors that it was going to be delayed till 2026 are all false. All right, so the game is still coming on track for 2025. Yes, some of us in here are saying that it will be running smooth and fine on the PS5, while others in here state that it may not come to PS5. Let's get into it. Do you think, one, we should even keep bringing up GTA 6 this far out? I think the rumor mill is crazy, and if you follow GTA 6, I feel like this is just weekly news to go up and down on excitement. And two, what do you think the limits on the console will be when it comes to running GTA 6? Does people in the panel want to talk?
It's not going to
Yeah.
be the same game on console as it was that we saw in trailers. That's my first comment.
Yeah.
It's not going to look like that.
No, listen. I think that everyone should buckle up for 4K 30, even on the PS5 Pro. Um, the in my opinion, things are going to have to be dialed back a bit, especially if they release in their window. I've seen some snippets of frame rates and stuff, and it doesn't look that great. Now, that could be unoptimized snippets that I'm checking out and looking at. I have no direct access to any kind of developer feed or anything like that, so I'm just looking at leaks and stuff, but it clearly shows frame rate. And the game is going to be huge. It's going to be impressive. It's going to have a lot of good graphics, but it's also going to tax those systems. In my opinion, and I could be very wrong, and everyone should call me out if I am, but I don't think this game's going to hit the PS5. And if it does, it's not going to run very well, like Cyberpunk didn't on the PS4. In my opinion, that's what we're running into. Like David was saying, Unreal 5 and all this and that, but what they'd like to do is push things forward, and Rockstar spent a lot of money on this title. We're gonna see where the money went, relatively soon anyway. But I would expect delays no matter what they're saying right now. It may not run that well on the base PS5. Well, but that's just, my opinion. Rockstar can do some magic. It all depends on how much they optimize the game for the hardware it's going to be running on. All these things come into consideration.
Yeah, I mean, we've never seen $1 billion poured into a game before. So, I mean, other than quite possibly Skull and Bones, now that I think about it. But
yeah, but that's
not a good.
No,
that's not a good
hey, we
side by side.
Let's scrap it. Let's scrap it and start over.
I mean, when you look at the official gameplay trailer, when I looked at it, I mean, it looked to me like a regular PS5 game. So I don't know.
Ray, that's your old man eyes. All right, it did look spectacular.
All right, listen, the mechanics and the way that all of these systems are going to play into each other.
Wait a minute. Hold on, because he's calling me out. Did you saw the official trailer with the car chase scene, with the cop throwing the guy up against the car?
Mate, seriously, I thought that looked so much more. Sorry, Rick, go for it. You were.
Did you get close ups of the characters' faces? Did you look at the whole, like, so you're saying that looked next gen to you?
So I don't play a lot of GTA 5 anymore, but I played it a lot when it originally came out. I've played it on the Xbox One when they transferred to that, and I played it when it came to Game Pass last year with Doc and Callie a Little and a few of you guys.
Well, let's be 1,000% honest.
It's a pretty game. It's a pretty game, but their faces, bro, right? If we think it looks on par with that, we're looking back with rose-tinted glasses. Their graphics are not on par with the thing that they showed us in the trailer. Now, do I think what we saw in the trailer is going to be what it actually looks like in gameplay? I'm unsure. Right. But those graphics in the trailer blew my mind. But I still don't think that that's going to be the same as what everyone is going to see playing in-game.
Well, we have to keep it real. We saw exactly what they wanted us to see.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, we're not going to see that level of quality and that level of fidelity and that level of amazingness everywhere in GTA 6, are we? I mean, if we are, then the hype that you've got a lot of hype about the game, right? And it's because of the possibility of that, the chance that it is going to be revolutionary everywhere.
Well, I'll tell you this. A really good, intelligent NPC that responds to you or your actions is invaluable. And that made Red Dead 2 a 10 out of 10. Every playthrough I've ever had, I've enjoyed. If they can bring that to GTA, that could be amazing. And I know that people say, oh, they got NPCs and they, but it's not like Red Dead. Like, they took it a step above. And if they do that again, then the world's going to feel alive and vibrant. And if you can go into most buildings, like Callie was saying, like, you can't do this in the regular GTA. You can do it online. But if I want to grab a pistol, go buy a sniper rifle, and then go run into the bank and try to rob it, and have the NPCs freak out, and I could take hostages and then fight my way out. That is going to be awesome. But a lot of the GTA games, as Callie will probably chime in on here in a second, are
Yeah.
very similar. The structure is extremely similar. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're gonna get. Go ahead, Callie.
I think the closest that you get to robbing a bank with online is like the first mission where you pretty much walk into that bank, but that's the only bank you can do it. And then like I'm trying to think of anything new that you can do. You can already customize your vehicles. There's already all these heists. Robbing a convenience, like we're going from a convenience store to burger joints and
But can I just clarify? I thought the heists were mostly bank robberies, but they're just like a multi-stage thing. You
Yeah.
can't just go in and rob.
yeah, that's what they are. But they're not
But they
banks.
do. Okay, just to
they're not
clarify,
banks.
just
They're
to
not banks.
clarify, wait, they're not banks. They're
They're
not
not
banks.
just banks. I think
No,
like
no, no,
three of
those
them-
are not
most
just
of-
banks.
Most of
I'm
them are
just
like
trying to get the information because you
I've
said there's
done-
only one bank robbery and it's at the beginning of online. But I think
They're
there's a
small
few.
Well,
sandboxes.
okay,
The
there's
difference
only
is they're
one
small
bank robbery.
sandboxes.
there's only one bank robbery that's like how me and SPG are talking, where you go in
Yeah,
and they
where you
react.
just
There's
go-
only-
yeah,
there's-
exactly.
Yeah,
there's only one.
I'm talking about a
No, I know,
vibrant
I just-
city,
I just wanna
not a
clarify.
small
I'm talking-
sandbox that they warp
wanna
you
be able to
into
go
so you
walk
can
in
do
Listen,
something.
SVG, the
you know?
heists don't put you in a sandbox. It's like Red Dead when you do the cross map moonshine and things. Like it's in the world. It is still the whole world, but there's certain areas it wants you to go, and there's certain.
Correct,
I mean,
but
I
if
think
you
there's
just
one of them
wander
that's
to
a
that
sandbox,
area,
but that
if
was
you
one of their
just
better ones. Their later
if you're
ones.
not
Right, but
my
I want to
point,
be able
my
to
point,
just walk.
my
I just
point
wanna
is
be
that if
able to
you're
walk
not
into a bank, I just want to be able to walk
Yeah,
into a
yeah,
bank, pull out
that's
a
my
gun,
point.
and
I
nobody go,
get that. I
"Ah!"
get that.
if you're not on the mission and you walk up to that building, nothing fucking happens.
Yeah, and I don't want to walk into a fucking McDonald's and go, "Give me all your money." Like what? That
Oh,
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 We lost
Callie accidentally
the
left, I
GTA
think, but
Rockstar got to him.
See, you gotta be careful how you talk about these companies.
Well, what do you think,
Exactly.
Because you're super hyped about it, aren't you, bud?
I think they're going to evolve every play system there is. I think the story is going to be an epic, emotional roller coaster that pulls you along every single like moment. I think what they're going to pour into this game, we cannot even fathom at this point. I think there's going to be, and yes, I know I'm the one that's saying, a stunning single player photo mode because the graphics are going to be out of this world. I'm
don't get me
even
wrong,
less
I think the graphics
skeptical
will be
than
great.
SPG. I think we're going to get some sort of variation of 1080p that tries to get to 2K at 30 FPS. 4K at 30 FPS may be a difficult stretch because they can't even do that with Final Fantasy VII right now. So I do
Really?
see that happening, and I'm excited. I think GTA 6 or Grand Theft Auto, the series, has always been a benchmark in gaming. It's been a console seller. It's the reason why I got into gaming and sat in front of GTA 3, just robbing cars and having fun, passing the controller with your friends, and just, gaming. That's where gaming really originated for me. So I have a nostalgic
make a good
spot.
point.
I really think GTA 6 is going to do well.
Well, you make a good point about that kind of stuff, but basically, we have a few things on the horizon that could be kind of a game changer. The lower resolution and then upscaling it, that's been around for a while. Checkerboarding, that's been around to try to fake it and to get you there to the 4K 30 or whatever. FSR 3 is supposed to be coming to Xbox, and
Can you clarify what that is? Is that like a DLSS type thing, or what
It is.
what
It's
FSR? Yeah.
I believe, if I'm not gonna get this wrong, it's AMD's version of DLSS, sort of.
Okay.
It enhances and expands frame rate by either doing frame generation, which that's actually NVIDIA's stuff, but they have to be doing something similar to get the frames jacked up like that. Now, if they can put that on the console, then you might be able to see 4K 60 on a whole bunch of games, but it's not going to be the actual resolution of 4K. It's still going to be, because DLSS jumps around, so that you can get the max frame rate at all times. These things are coming to consoles, and even the PS5 Pro. Some of the expanded things are built into the GPU for that purpose in general, so that they can get these higher frame rates.
The Xbox, one of the first games I played on my Series X was Ori, or at least tested it out when I got my Xbox and when I got my new monitor. and that has an 8K upscaled mode. You can upscale that to 8K, and that's the type
Yeah.
of thing that you're on about is upscaling, right? Is the AI aided upscaling, and when that type of technology catches up with these engines, there's a chance that something like a mid-season upgrade of the PS5 or Xbox could keep up with this GTA 6 if it's all the bells and whistles we think
but
it
it's
is.
still diminishing returns at some point because as that's going on, and now you can get the frame rate. Well, you're still on a 6-year-old console that's 6 years behind fucking all the tech. Your console doesn't upgrade and continue to grow and get new tech. That it doesn't work that way. So you're still like I don't know, man. I have a love-hate relationship with consoles. I love the fact that it's a low bar for entry to get into gaming, but at the same time, this stuff holds a lot of developers back, and they have to spend a hell of a lot of money on optimization instead of just building a game, trying to finish it, and then crank it out. There's a whole bunch of ins and outs to the industry and stuff, but I don't know. That's my take.
Well, let's jump into the next topic we got, and I appreciate everyone's insight into the Grand Theft Auto 6 debate. I'm sure it won't be the last time we get into it. Cyberpunk 2077 generated $752 million in revenue as CD Projekt Red shares update on the future of its games. This is pretty amazing. Obviously, Cyberpunk is one of those games that had one of the worst releases ever in modern gaming that I've had to think about in a while. And then it really just turned around, constant support, updates, making the game to where it is today. Brand new DLC that evolves the game that much further with the Liberty DLC.
Idris Elba.
And now Idris Elba, Star Power, and now we see them announcing a new IP, possibly a remake here. What do you guys think about the future of CD Projekt Red? Will you be picking up their new games? And how do you feel like they went about this?
I think they'll probably learn from their mistakes. And
You'd hope
that
so.
revenue definitely shows.
I mean, it's not even about hope, right? I mean, you guys played Phantom Liberty. I only messed around with it, but if a few you guys actually completed it, was it a turnaround compared to their first original release of their original content? Because if so, that shows to me that they've kind of learned from the mistakes.
Put it this way, I liked my first playthrough on Stadia, where other people in a PS4 could run up to somebody, and Ray could tell you their polygons didn't even load in on their face. Okay, the game did not run. PlayStation took it off their thing. I hope they learned from their mistakes, but I enjoyed my first playthrough. I didn't run into any game-breaking bugs that stopped my progression or any of that stuff. And then they polished and kept polishing, and they turned that turd into a diamond. Not that it was a turd, but for the people on PS4, they were upset. I can totally understand. And there was issues even on the PS5.
There was issues on Stadia, all right? A lot
No,
of
there
people
were.
had a smooth experience on Stadia, but I will say I lost over 20 hours of gameplay, and I had a few game-breaking bugs on my Stadia experience
I had a
because I played it from
game-breaking
day
bug
one
as
release.
well.
Yeah, a
Yep.
lot of
I
people
didn't have
say,
any.
"Oh, Stadia was perfect." Okay, Stadia was the best place to play it objectively. It had the least bugs, the least noted bugs out of everywhere it was released on. However, Stadia's version was still broken. Every release of it was broken. It was as you said, Rue, one of the worst releases in game history of recent years.
Right.
And now it's a fantastic title.
Yeah,
Something we
crazy.
can't something we can't look past is the engine. A developer is only as good as the engine they're using, and that's a fact. And I have to say that the Red engine, which they are abandoning now, to my knowledge, but the Red engine is versatile and is amazing. You go play The Witcher 3, and you check out the environment, you check out how your combat works and all that stuff. All that is done in the Red engine, the exact same engine that gave us a first-person cyber ninja game. Like
Crazy.
just the quality difference, and it's the exact same engine. My hat goes off to them. And now they're adopting Unreal, and they see stuff in Unreal that we don't even know about yet. I can guarantee it.
Cyberpunk will always have a special place in my heart. I loved it on Stadia. Loved it on Stadia. And yes, there was bugs, but not like I had a cousin who had the PS4, and I mean Keanu Reeves' face was like someone threw acid on it. He sent me pictures, and it was pretty funny. But I will have to say, man, the DLC was amazing. Um, yeah, this game I love, and I got to give it to CD Projekt Red. I mean, yeah, they just like SPG, they worst launch, worst launch because it was on everybody's most anticipated game. And if you had it on other consoles, yeah, you were pissed off. And I think that was the first game in the Sony store that they took off. They actually took the game off the PlayStation store for a while. So which is absurd because Sony never really did that.
Now let's be clear on one thing too. The shareholders demanded they release the game. They did. They got a shitstorm. They invested a bunch more money back into the game, and the shareholders were pissed about that as well. Looking at the sales, it worked out for them. But
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's why shareholders shouldn't be in charge of these companies. Like, I don't know.
I was going to ask you guys though, has anyone heard about their new IP Hadar? Because I feel like I've seen that name somewhere, but I've not heard much about it.
Well, I mean, I heard that The Witcher was going to be a remake. And then, as terms of Hadar, no, I know nothing other than what it says here. Concept phase and
The Witcher
red
4
spikes. Looks Canadian.
So the Witcher 4 isn't going to be The Witcher 4. It's going to be The Witcher 1 remade. Is that what you're saying?
I believe so. It's going to be on the remake Station 5.
No, but that will upset a whole bunch of fans of The Witcher that want to see what the next installment was going to be.
Yeah, but it'll
but
make
everybody
Witcher
knows
fans happy because the original one is very outdated. A lot of Witcher fans know that the first one is
Oh,
a very
definitely,
outdated game.
definitely.
And see, I just read an article where they kept seeing Witcher 4.
Correct.
So I'm kind of like, all right.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that because I'm hoping for The Witcher 4.
What I got told, awesome. I saw something on The Witcher 4, and then I also saw The Witcher remake. So I guess we're hearing both ways, but no, there will be a remake and a 4. So Nerds World, thanks. Nice. So he's saying there'll be both.
World. Fantastic.
Well, with $752 million, they got enough money to pump out both, right?
Yeah, damn right, man. Well, they're also working on Orion, the next Cyberpunk. So
they're gonna make tons of money because there's a lot of Witcher fans. There's a lot of Witcher fans. They're gonna make a lot of money.
Yes.
Project Red's working on an IP as well.
Yeah, Hadar. I was asking if anyone do you know anything about that? No. I was going to say, does anyone know anything about that? Do you know anything about that, Kelly? Because I asked the guys a few minutes ago. No.
I will get the remake and Witcher 4 because I love the IP. I love the series.
Oh, it's called Project Hadar. That's why you're calling it that. Okay.
Yeah, just like the Cyberpunk, the new one is Project Orion, but that's way
Cyberpunk Orion.
That's way far away though, because they're working on The Witcher 4 now, I think. So, like, there are multiple things in development, but
the little that we know about Project Hadar, it could be a modern fantasy. That's all we're hearing. Handful of new projects, code names, everybody with their code name. But it was apparently the developer's first original IP and apparently fantasy game. So that's where you could possibly see it. I mean, all of their games are kind of fantasy, right? Cyberpunk's some version of a fantasy.
Yep, it is. Mike Smith or whatever his name is.
Well, do you want to get the sci-fi fantasy debate? Because I would say
they're making a Cyberpunk board game too, and I can't wait. I'm gonna get that board game.
Well, let's jump into one of the final stories of the day before we wrap up the download, and that is one that Wilson brought up to me. It's Europe's longest Hyperloop test track revives futuristic tube transport hype. And that's right. It's saying that these new high-speed network tubes will be in place by 2050. And so that's where the title of this show comes from. I believe once we get that set up and they are like, hey, let's create a black hole on Earth and bang these particles together, that will most definitely lead to the end of life as we know it. Why we're doing this, what safety limits we have on this, I have no idea who gave this the green go ahead. It's built in Europe, so I suppose it's, Wilson's freaking fault. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're creating a hyperloop, and it's creating.
I prefer to call it a Wunderloop. But yeah, man. I mean, what could go wrong? Taking the base elements of the Big Bang and smashing them together at lightning speed. I mean,
Oh my God.
what could go wrong?
Okay, let's specify. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be that MagSafe technology. It's using those magnets and whatnot. You know, the
This
stuff that
isn't
Elon
CERN?
Musk was.
We're not talking
No,
about CERN.
we're
Okay,
not
my
talking
bad.
about CERN. We're not actually talking about smashing together particles and creating a
No,
black hole. That is
yeah.
not what
This is like a
about.
high-speed rail, right? That they're going from
Exactly.
Netherlands.
It's one of the. Yeah, I think China already has one of these, or maybe Japan. Elon Musk was talking about putting one somewhere over in America. They are safe things, or mostly safe. I'm
Baby.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Mostly safe.
First
I'm pretty
test
sure, but
flight.
I don't know.
Test dummies were paced upon arrival.
I mean, listen. The UK's been getting railed for years. Why not put it high-speed track too? You know.
I don't know.
So it's made of 34 interconnected, prefabricated 2.5 meter wide steel cylinders, and it's meant to transport people 420 meters long. What are we saying? No, it could allow a 10,000 kilometer network of high-speed tubes. So that is a lot of distance to travel for the Americans
here
out
we
there.
go.
That is 6,200 miles.
It is the Elon Musk thing. The idea of the Hyperloop was floated by Elon Musk in 2013 when proposing a line linking San Francisco and LA using magnets to propel shuttles along pipes in near vacuum conditions with the lack of friction and air resistance, potentially allowing vehicles to rival the speed of aeroplanes. His fellow tycoon Richard Branson, who we all know as the head of Virgin, continued to put the
Yeah.
hype in Hyperloop with a Virgin-branded company testing a passenger capsule in the Nevada desert in 2020. He sold up and renamed Hyperloop One collapsed last year.
Well, seeing what happens on the subway, maybe we shouldn't have nice things because all I see is that nonsense happening on the Hyperloop.
Oh God,
Yeah.
no! Don't say that. Would be severe. Someone gets
Hey.
thrown through a Hyperloop
Why can't we
window.
just work on? Why can't we just work on teleportation? You know, and just
Because teleportation is death, Ray. Do you know how
Yeah,
that works? You
The
die.
first part of you die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they just
then
reconstruct
you
you on the other side.
Yeah, it's a quantum copy.
Although
But,
that would be
uh,
cool to,
China
like,
opened one up in 2020.
you're like, hey, I gotta have
so
my appendix out. Okay, stand here, and they just
It's
teleport
just
it out
part of
of you.
this new age of technology, isn't it? It's getting away from the mechanical, stepping into the electrical, stepping into how we can manipulate physics to work for us.
Listen to
Cleaner
this.
environments, cleaner energy, cleaner transport, all that type
Now,
of stuff.
this is medical, okay, but it's still very interesting. They have inserted nanobots into a male's body, and when he is trying to get his wife pregnant, like instead of fertilization or whatever the name is, where they inseminate the egg and all that and put it back in the woman and try to get pregnant and stuff.
That's sex,
what it does.
SPG.
Well, correct. No, I'm talking in vitro fertilization is what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Okay, so, but here's the thing. So they inject this nanobot into you.
Yeah.
And then when you ejaculate, the nanobot activates and it finds a sperm and scoops it up like a shovel and takes it directly to the egg.
What?
I
Ah.
swear to
How
God.
did we go from
What the
MagSafe hyperrails
fuck?
into fucking?
You said high-speed railing, and I just figured I'd bring it
Oh
up.
my
This-
God.
But is the nanobot like evaporate, or does it become one with the baby, and then you have like a neuro-linked
Sorry,
baby?
That's how Ray was made. That's how Ray was made.
Well, they're doing Neuralink really early now in development.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, it looks like a corkscrew, and it actually
What?
like it does. It looks like a corkscrew. It goes up and it goes around the sperm, directs it directly to the egg, and then you pass it when you urinate next. Supposedly, it doesn't stay in your body, but they've got that technology now.
Stone to pass in the world.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
You don't want that corkscrew coming out
microscopic, bro.
sideways.
It's just
No,
slightly
I
bigger
bet.
than sperm. One sperm
yeah.
cell.
That's
Wow.
crazy, man. It's crazy where tech is going today. It's crazy where tech is going.
It's funny because yesterday I watched the South Park episode where Mr. Garrison gets frustrated with the airport and he designs his own
Oh my
vehicle
God. He
to
made
get
it.
around the it. And this
And
kind of
then
reminds me of the it, right? We need different options
Yeah.
than the airport. The airport is a freaking mess, and if they could get high-speed rail up and running, I'd love to see some vast distances traveled so much faster. LA to New York needs one. Even intercity needs some. This could really be applied in a lot of places. The problem is it's like $1 billion a kilometer, and we just don't have the resources to build these kind of things.
Are
Well,
you saying you prefer a high-speed railing rather than getting screwed at the airport?
out of all the money we've sent to Ukraine, we could have two of them.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, man, I don't know if we don't have the resources. I mean, we see these tech companies. Yeah, they're
We don't have
they're
the will.
reallocating resources right
Yeah,
now.
we
but
don't
they're
have
also,
the will.
After all these fire schemes we've seen over the past couple of months, there's also companies now that are starting to hire up, that are starting to reallocate, that are starting to create new teams, new dedicated teams. I cannot remember what company, but I saw there was a game development company that was that recently had to fire a bunch of people. They've now just created new divisions based on genres of games. And in those divisions, they're going to start rehiring people. Now, I hate firing rehire schemes, but it's like my whole point is it's not that the resources aren't there, it's just that they need reallocating sometimes. And we're in one of those horrible periods where they get reallocated and that kind of costs some people's lives a bit. But I mean, these projects are getting developed because they do have the resources. You know what I mean? They'll put the money where they want to put the money. And right now, maybe there's people starving in the world and struggling to afford housing. But in 30 years, we'll have hyper rails, bro. So won't it be worth it?
Hey,
Vundaloo.
as long. Yeah. I think Windstar hits it on the head. We need more alien technology to propel our science forward. Because
there
the
you
last
go.
time we got alien technology, we had cell phones. Imagine the next
Oh.
ship that crashed.
Well, obviously we're doing physics wrong. Obviously.
Oh, well, thanks everyone for coming out, hanging on the download. Thank you everyone in chat. You've been absolutely amazing as we've talked our nonsensical but entertaining and hopefully educational topics for this week. Let's go through the panel so you can find out where everybody's going to be at this week. And don't forget to tune in next week, same bat time, same bat place. We'll be talking more gaming and technology. So let's get on with the panel. Kelly, Drew, Bot, what are you up to this week? Where can people find you?
You can find me on tomorrow. I'm gonna be streaming some Helldivers. There was a medical emergency for yesterday, so I wasn't able to stream yesterday. But tomorrow I'll be streaming some Helldivers on Boosteroid, so you can catch me on my YouTube there.
Awesome. And we got David Wilson. What do you got going on? Where can people find you?
Oh, I'll just be hanging out in Cyborg City whenever I've got the free time, but I'm a little bit preoccupied with life at the moment, bro. So I'm not around as much, but I am going to try and make as many of these panels, as many of the streams as I can. But yeah, good to see everyone today. Great to see everyone.
Awesome. And SPG, what's going on?
Not much, man. I was supposed to stream today. I'm not sure if I'm gonna or not. We got snowing and blowing happening in North Dakota, and yes, it's supposed to be spring. I'd like to throat chop Mother Nature, but other than that, don't have a whole lot going on. Hopefully, jump into some Helldivers here soon. Rudigs.
Yes, sir. And don't forget, if you want to catch any of these streamers, the link is in the description to join the Discord. We're always posting our streams up to let you know where we're at. And Ray, I see you're finally charged up. What where
Yo.
and how can people find you?
Well, stay tuned because I might be on a certain virtual pixel podcast. Stay tuned for that. Coming up real soon, maybe tomorrow. So stay tuned. But I will be doing Rectibus Saturday night on Ray3473, Twitch TV. And I want to thank the chat. Rue, I want to thank you for streaming the show in Cyborg City. Thank you, panel. And guys, happy Easter to you, your family, your pets, everyone. Thank you.
Oh yeah, happy Easter. Go do that
We all
chocolate
forget.
thing with the bunnies, and I don't know how the bunnies and the chickens get together to make chocolate eggs, but hey, it's Easter
Thank
time.
Jesus
Enjoy
for
it
doing.
out.
You've got to thank Jesus for that.
And that's where we'll end. Remember, everybody, come hang out in Cyborg City. There was a spotting, and Ray will always let you
I
know.
had two Wongs
It's too big.
pointing right at
It's
me.
it's too it's too it's too big. It's too big.
Grove. 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 Why try to believe in me? Why try do I even need to? I die with the season leaves. I glide with the season breeze. True, my mind so easily spooked. I ride just to